What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to talk about the tech nodes on the Incursion raids. And this is going to be a video to help out my alliance. We want to get to difficulty 6 as fast as possible, and we're gonna breeze through the difficulty 4 and difficulty 5 during the next week. So because of that we need to destroy, right? We need to destroy the tech nodes. And I'm going to present a few strategies that my alliance mates can use, and maybe it's also going to help some of you out and allow you to go from difficulty 3 to 4 or from 2 to 3 and so on, or maybe even to difficulty 5 or 6. But we're going to take a look at these different strategies that you can use on each of the nodes. This is a few strategies that we have been testing out for the last 2 weeks in order to one-shot the tech nodes and make it as easily as possible for you to be able to cross through this barrier, because unfortunately the new tech team for raids is still 3 months away, if not longer, and that's why we just can't wait anymore. We have to move forward in terms of the difficulties. Difficulty 4 is just too easy on the other sections, and we just have to push it through. So that's the topic we're gonna talk about, and as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. First off, we have to talk about the tech characters that you should have available. The most important character that you need for the tech lanes is Kang and Dr. Doom. Yes, Dr. Doom is going to be crucial for us to be able to one-shot these nodes, so we don't struggle way too much on either of them. Then we should also take into consideration, not Shuri, we should take into consideration Kestrel. We need to get her with Isolate Bull level 5 either way because of Apocalypse, so it's a character that everyone should have ready. And then we have a few options that we are going to talk about. We have the Bionic Avengers, of course, but we also have Nebula, Ultron and Shuri that if you know exactly what you're doing, you can get some advantage of those characters. Shuri, she can also help you to get some additional energy for Dr. Doom in case it's necessary. And then there is also Lady Deathstrike. We are not going to use her. There is Spider-Man Big Time, which I'm going to use him just as an example, but it's not something that you should follow. This is why I'm going to show different strategies for each of the nodes, and then you take what's best for you based on what you have available. But once again, the most important characters is going to be Kang and Dr. Doom, and then depending on which node you're going to be facing, you want to use or Bionic Avengers or some other character that you have on your account and you find convenient to use. So let's get started. First off, we have to mention that we're going to use the Mystic nodes in order to charge up the ultimate of Dr. Doom. The best nodes for you to charge up your Dr. Doom is going to be the Mystic nodes, the first node, and the boss node. The team that I use to charge up my Dr. Doom is going to be this team right here. Sylvie, Loki, Val, Deadpool and Dr. Doom. This is the team I use or on the first node or on the boss node, and it's a very easy one shot. You have to use the Dr. Doom ultimate and then charge it up again, so be careful with that. On the first node is not super easy to do. On the boss node is extremely easy to do, but be careful with that. Either way, you can one-shot either of those nodes with this team. Just make sure that the ultimate of Dr. Doom is ready. The special doesn't matter, so if you want to spam the special, that's fine. But it's going to be crucial that both players, or the 2 players or the 3 players that are on the same lane, they need to charge up their Dr. Doom. So if one goes left, the other goes right, make sure you always charge up your Dr. Doom on the first node, and then go to the boss node, and the last player will charge up their Dr. Doom as well. And this is going to make the tech nodes super easy. I'm not sure why not more people are talking about this. Charge up your Dr. Doom on the Mystic nodes and use them on the tech nodes. Seems pretty obvious, right? But yeah, okay, anyway, so that's going to be a crucial point for this strategy to make sure that we are able to clear all the nodes. And then we are just going to smash with Kang. Of course, you want your Kang to be as big as possible, but if your Kang is not as big as mine, you can still use this just fine. But if your Kang is not as big as mine, you should focus on using the Bionic Avengers to assist the Kang. Depending on which node, you want to shuffle between Hulkbuster Vision, Deadlock, and V-Vision. Sometimes you take out Deadlock, other times you take out Hulkbuster. We're going to talk about that when we take a look at the nodes. But these are the characters that you should have into consideration if you are thinking about going to difficulty 5 and 6. It's a little bit expensive in terms of the ISO 8 blue, but if you want to have the easiest experience, this is the way that you should tackle. So let's take a look at the gameplay on how to prepare for each of these nodes and then how to clear each of them. Okay, so we are on the last node of the Mystic Lane, and like I said, we are going to charge up our Doctor Doom so we can use him on the tech nodes. I'm using my Doctor Doom as a skirmisher, as it should be. Doctor Doom in 2023 must be used as a skirmisher. If you are still using him as a striker, as a raider, you can go back to 2019 because that no longer works on the current meta. So we're going to use the ultimate of Loki. It doesn't really matter. This is a typical procedure. You only need 3 Bifrost characters plus Deadpool and one other character in order to destroy these nodes. You can use Morgan Le Fay, you can use Dormammu, you can use Doctor Doom. In my opinion, Doctor Doom is the best option because it allows you to help out with the tech nodes. Okay, so apply stun to Titania so she doesn't apply slow to your characters. Finish off the Psylocke as fast as possible, and then just hit that expose like there is no tomorrow. Just crush on that expose and that's fine. Okay, we're gonna turn rewind that Titania a little bit. You want to make sure that Titania is stunned because you don't want her to apply slows to your teams. Whenever you attack Absorbing Man, Titania will apply slow to you. That's very annoying. Make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, we destroy a bunch of people with Val, and we're gonna finish off that Titania. Once again, remember that every time you attack Absorbing Man, Titania is going to apply slow to you. So now I use the ultimate of Doctor Doom here. You don't really have to use it. It's up to you. You can use it sooner or later. But you want to make sure that you still have a lot of enemies. The earlier you use it, the better, because the more likely you'll use... the more likely you'll get the energy back, right? And all these minions from the Mr. Negatives, they are also going to help you charge up your Doctor Doom. So pay attention to that. You really have to be careful. So for example, when you have Cersei and Incursion, it might be already too late for you to charge up your Doctor Doom. So instead, just use the special and the basic in order to save energy. Make sure you stun the Incursion, make sure you stop Psylocke as soon as you can, make sure you ability block your enemy Cersei, and make sure you apply heal block with the Doctor Doom special so the Eternals don't heal up all the time. So you can see right here that we are destroying these guys, no problem. We still have that ultimate with Doctor Doom. We have a few seconds left. Not a lot, but you can do this a lot faster. I just didn't use the ultimate of Doctor Doom on the right moment. It depends. It's depending on the mood. Sometimes I do it early, sometimes I do it late, and that's it. Okay, so we're gonna finish this off. Doctor Doom with full health. We're gonna finish off that Incursion, and we are good to go. It really depends. You can finish this a lot faster. It's all about on when you use the ultimate of Doctor Doom, if it's earlier or later. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at the first node of the tech lane, and we're going to talk about how you can one-shot this node. There are two methods. One, depending on the size of your team, you might be able to one-shot this or not. As I said, it's going to be important that you have a big Kang. If you don't have a big Kang, you are probably going to double tap, but this is going to happen without having requirement of healing up characters or reviving characters and so on. So keep that in mind. Okay, so for this first method, we are going to use Spider-Man Big Time and Nebula. If you don't have Nebula with ISO 8 Blue level 4, you can use or Ultron or Yellow Jacket. The reason why we are talking about Nebula, Ultron and Yellow Jacket is because these characters have less health than Spider-Man Big Time, and they also have or the ability of gaining evades, or the ability of reviving, or the ability of gaining evades and healing themselves. And with that type of characters, they are going to soak all the damage from Gambit, and it will allow the rest of your characters to take advantage of that, making sure that Nebula is taking all the attacks from Gambit, and then your Doctor Doom, Kang and so on are going to be able to destroy the enemies. So this is going to be the first method that we are taking a look at, and then we'll take a look at the other method with the Bionic Avengers team. Okay, so here we go, let's take a look. We are going to one-shot these. Once again, I'm able to one-shot because my Kang is quite big. If your Kang is not as big, double tap, it's fine. Just make sure that your Doctor Doom has enough energy, because you are going to use your Doctor Doom on the boss node as well. Whichever player attacks the first node should also attack the boss node. Okay, so with Spider-Man Big Time, we're going to apply Disrupt with Trauma to that girl over there. And then with Nebula, we are going to get those evades that allow us to bypass the damage from Gambit. And we're also going to make sure you apply vulnerability to Emma Frost while we destroy her with Kang at the same time. This will allow your Kang to go a lot faster because of the isolate attack. And then that's just fine. Okay, my Doctor Doom got ability blocked. Let's see if we are still going to be able to survive this or not. You have 20% chance of your Doctor Doom to get ability blocked. Sometimes it happens, other times it doesn't happen. Like I said, 20% chance of happening. Sometimes 20% is all the time, right? Anyway, so unfortunately, because I got ability blocked on my Doctor Doom, this is not going as usual. It's not going as easy as it could be, but I want to show you like the dirty run, right? If my Doctor Doom would get the ultimate early on because of not having ability block, it would be super easy to finish this off. But because we have so much damage from Kang, and because Nebula applied that early vulnerability, my Kang is still going so fast that I'm able to do the ultimate of Doctor Doom. The biggest problem on this scenario is that your Doctor Doom is not going to be able to get as much energy. But once again, this is a 1 in 5 situation. It's not how it usually ends up happening. Okay, so Doctor Doom with the ultimate, Doctor Doom with the special. And now you want to make sure that you stop all those invaders and also the Captain Sam. You don't want Captain Sam to start giving turn meter for everyone, so keep that in mind. And you want to make sure that you use the ultimate of Kang to get defense down on everyone if you have the opportunity. In this specific case, it seems like it's just fine. We're having so many additional attacks that we are just destroying these invader characters. And yes, it's quite nice if you delete them early on, because after they're not going to be able to revive the other invader characters. With 2 Iron Fists, you really don't want them to revive anyone. Okay, so we deleted the Captain Sam, we deleted the Kraken America. Now we are going after these invaders. We are going to use the basic, and that will allow the Iron Fist to revive 1 character. But between reviving 1 character and reviving 2 characters, you are better off like this, and either way, you're going to be able to one-shot a node. You're going to remove those death proofs with all those extra attacks. Kraken America is going to give some energy, that's fine. Now you're going to double tap on Iron Fist again, and easy cleanup. So as you can see, the Spider-Man Big Time and Nebula can be quite useful here. But once again, it all comes down to Kang, Doctor Doom, and also some assistance of Kestrel. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at a different method of doing this node. And this was done by Michael. I have to be honest, like Michael's team is very, very small compared to my team. My team is huge. His team is not as much. You're going to use Shuri, Hulkbuster, Doctor Doom, and Kestrel plus Kang. Now you could do this in a different way with Hulkbuster, with V-Vision, and with Vision, with also Doctor Doom. But once again, it requires you to prepare your Doctor Doom before. or it requires your Doctor Doom to be very small. So it's up to you to decide. It depends on which characters you have available. So you have this version right here, but also other option: Kang, Doctor Doom, V-Vision, Hulkbuster, and Vision. Okay, so let's take a look at these. So Michael, he didn't prepare his Doctor Doom, but because his Doctor Doom is much smaller than mine, he's not going to have any problem triggering the Doctor Doom. On top of that, he also has Shuri that can provide some energy. Whether it is early on or not, it depends. This is a little bit more problematic because it relies on luck. And like I said, if you prepare your Doctor Doom on the boss node of the Mystic Line or on the first node of the Mystic Line, then it's not going to be a big deal for you. Okay, either way, you can see that his Doctor Doom got triggered. So now he's going to apply Disrupt to Miss Marvel. You always have to apply Disrupt to Miss Marvel first. Then you want to apply Disrupt to Gambit. And then also to Kate Bishop if she's still alive. Okay, we are going to destroy the first wave as always. And you want to make sure that you remove all those invader characters. We don't want any Kraken Americas around. He's going to use the basic. Okay, he should have used the ultimate because, like I said, his team is too small. And when you reach this point, if your team is too small, you should cancel the match. Or you should end the match on that moment. Lose the match on purpose so you don't have to deal with all the revives whenever you try to finish this, right? If you finish the match right now, so Captain Sam this animation, you lose the battle, and then the revives, they are not going to work anymore because there are no characters to revive. So you do like this, and then you go back and you finish off the node. We are going to take a look now at the second tap of Michael. Once again, his team is very, very small, and the second tap allows people to charge up their Doctor Doom. Like I said at the beginning, the player that does the first node should also do the boss node because you'll have more time to charge up your Doctor Doom on the boss node. We're gonna take a look at that in a second. But yeah, this is a team that you should bring: Hulkbuster, Kang, Vision, and V-Vision plus Doctor Doom. So you have the extra health, the barrier, the armor, and you also have the blinds and so on to protect your team. So let's take a look on how he finishes off the node, making sure that Doctor Doom has the ultimate ready. So you can use it on the boss node or on the second node. You could also use this on the second node. It's fine too. So as always, you need to make sure that you get rid of Emma Frost. Emma Frost causes a lot of problems here, and it's very important to get rid of her. So you can see that without Hulkbuster, you do not have enough HP in order to finish off the enemies or even stay alive. Now V-Vision, unfortunately, he was not able to apply Disrupt to Captain Sam. And now he's going to apply Slow and Barrier to everyone. It applies Barrier to the entire team, so it's quite nice. And now let's see. Okay, he'll block for everyone. The Disrupt would be fine too. You want to make sure that you just spread those vulnerabilities because you need vulnerabilities for your Kang to go as fast as possible. Radar Isolate on Vision or Skirmisher Isolate to make sure that you are applying more vulnerabilities. And here goes Kang with the ultimate. Probably the ultimate here was a little bit overkill. And you want to save the ultimate of Kang to use on the second node. So be careful with that. If for some reason you are doing your lane alone, then you should save the ultimate of Kang for the beginning of the second node. You can also take a look at that strategy as well. Okay, so it's time to finish off these Iron Fists. Make sure that they did their special first because that's the ability that revives and you don't want them to spam revive to each other over and over again. That's it. Doctor Doom is ready. And the Bionic Avengers, they also have their cooldowns ready to go for the next node. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at the second boss node. I'm not going to show you how you one-shot this boss node. If you start fresh, if you have your Spider-Man Big Time available, if you have your Shuri, once again, as always, you want to make sure that your Doctor Doom is charged from the Mystic nodes. One player is going to attack the first node and the boss node, and the other player is going to attack fresh the second node. So let's take a look on how exactly we can one-shot this node with the Spider-Man Big Time, Castle, Doctor Doom, Shuri, and Kang. So here we go. I'm using Spider-Man big time as a skirmisher. You could also use him as a raider, but skirmisher is better because of the consistency. You don't have to rely on luck to apply vulnerability to the enemies. So keep that in mind, as Spider-Man big time does not have extra crit chance. So you want to make sure that you apply vulnerability, defense down, and disrupt to Silver Surfer. You don't want Silver Surfer to get buffs. You want him to get destroyed as fast as possible. And you also want to apply slow to the enemy Agent Venom, as he's going to do a lot of damage to you. Silver Surfer is gone already, and now you're going to do the ultimate with Dr. Doom. Remember, one player attacks the first node with his Dr. Doom, the second player attacks the second node with his Dr. Doom charged up as well, and Captain Carter, she does so much damage that you can activate right away your Dr. Doom passive. Okay, so you want to make sure that you destroy Captain Carter as soon as you can, because you don't want her to healing up any of the enemies. You want to make sure that you get rid of her. You don't want her healing up, you don't want her giving buffs, you don't want her reviving, you don't want her to do any of those things. Okay, here I made a small mistake. I used the special of Spider-Man big time on Nemesis, and that's fine, but then I should have used the special, or I should have used the basic of Dr. Doom on Nemesis to flip the defense up into defense down, just to make sure I would finish this faster, right? And then you want to apply vulnerabilities to the Ghost Riders, and you want to make sure that you finish them as fast as possible, because yeah, they are problematic, and the faster you get rid of them, the better. So Kang with one isolate attack is going to destroy one Ghost Rider. And if you are smart enough and you apply vulnerability to both Ghost Riders, you can finish them off at the same time. Shuri dies unfortunately, but we don't need her for the boss node. And there we go, we destroy the second node one shot with this strategy with Spider-Man big time. Okay guys, so now we're going to take a look at the boss node, how you can one-shot the boss node. And the team that I'm showing you right now on the screen is the team that you can also use to one-shot the second node. It works exactly on the same way. It requires your Kang to be charged or not, it's up to you, it's fine. And it requires your Dr. Doom to be charged as well. This is why I said the player that attacks the first node attacks the boss node, and the player that attacks the middle node does not attack the boss node on the first attack, because you need to have a certain setup to get started. So the most important thing is to make sure that you have the ultimate on your Kang. Ultimate on Kang is extremely important. If your Dr. Doom doesn't have the energy right away ready, that's fine, because you're still gonna have some time to get that energy. But the Kang ultimate is very important, so whether you attack the node 1 or node 2, depending on which strategy, you want to make sure that you finish with the Kang ultimate ready. Okay, so let's take a look. When you have the 5% speed bar of Kang, and when you have also the ultimate of Kang ready, that means your characters will go 5% faster, and the enemy characters are going to go 10% slower. And because of this difference in speed, it will allow your vision and your Dr. Doom to go before your enemies. So that means if your Dr. Doom is ready, you can trigger his ultimate. If your Dr. Doom is not ready, you can still turn rewind your enemies with a vision ultimate. So you can see right here, because of the vision ultimate, you're going to be able to turn rewind the enemies even more, and you're going to be able to destroy them. Now, Michael told me that he doesn't like to use Dr. Doom here. I like it, I think it's fine, but instead of using the Dr. Doom ultimate on the first turn, you want to use it on the second turn when Kestrel shows up. You can also use Hulkbuster here instead of Dr. Doom and apply slow to the enemies, or not, it's up to you to decide. You can apply the slow, it's fine. But you have to balance out. If you apply slow with your Hulkbuster here, then you have to use your Kang to apply slow after to your enemies. Make sure you always have enough vulnerabilities, so whether it is with your characters being raiders or skirmishers, make sure that happens. Now, we have the ability block with with the deadlock. I was not exactly sure to apply the ability block on. I decided to go for Red Guardian because sometimes he applies ability block to your characters, so you want to prevent that. And then you have to be very careful with that Kestrel. She spawns with offense up, so if your characters gain defense down for any reason, they are pretty much going to get destroyed. Also, it's going to be nice for you to ability block Phyla-Vell so she doesn't clear away the negative effects. Dr. Doom ultimate on the second turn. Yes, it's true you don't have the minions for additional damage, but you don't need the minions, so that's fine. What you want to do is to apply as many vulnerabilities as possible, so after your Kang can capitalize on those vulnerabilities. As I just mentioned, Kestrel is going to be one of the most problematic characters, so you need to make sure that you get rid of her, because she's going to clear negative effects on turn, she's going to heal up, she's going to do massive damage to your team, so the faster you get rid of her, the better. And now we have Phyla-Vell, we have Hulkbuster, we have all these enemies. I'm going to apply slow to as many as possible, while at the same time making sure that Kang is taking advantage of all the vulnerabilities. If you use the vulnerabilities properly, your Kang can have 4 or 5 turns out of the Dr. Doom ultimate. We are going to do another turn rewind and defense down on everyone. We are going to apply ability block or to Phyla-Vell or to some other character, or also to Nemesis. Nemesis is also important to ability block because it gives you trauma, bleeds, and slow, so you don't want him to use the ultimate on you. Let's see, we're gonna flip that death proof on Phyla-Vell, or at least try, and once again spread the vulnerabilities. Make sure you have vulnerabilities on as many characters as possible, depending on how much health they have. Deadlock with his ultimate. I use my deadlock as a skirmisher to remove positive effects. Works fine, still applies vulnerabilities. And that's it. So as you can see, you can also one-shot the boss node easily if you do the preparation required for it. If you have your Dr. Doom close to being ready, and if your Bionic Avengers also have their abilities, and so on. Okay, so now you're going to take a look on how Michael does the boss node, and like I said, he's not going to use Hulkbuster. He has a minor mistake here, which is the position of the characters. You should always have Kang in a corner and all the Bionic Avengers together, because they give energy to adjacent characters. If they are not adjacent, they are not going to give the full energy, so pay attention to that. And you can see that is a way he has a lot of strikers, a lot of raiders. Make sure that you have a consistent experience when it comes to the vulnerabilities. So here we go. Hulkbuster, V-Vision, Vision, Deadlock, and Kang. So if for some reason you're not able to get your Dr. Doom ready, you are still able to do like this. So as I said, the ultimate ability of Kang is going to be extremely important, because that will allow your Vision to go first and to use his ultimate. Then you want to apply slow to the enemies, and you want to make sure that you save the special of Kang to use on the second wave, so you can apply slow to everyone. This is why I prefer to use Skirmisher rather than Raider, because otherwise, like this, you don't get stuck behind taunts like the one from Hulkbuster, and it's a little bit more convenient. Either way, Michael is still destroying the node, and I have to say, Michael's team is very small. Michael's team is like level 85 or something. They have decent yellow stars and red stars, but the levels are very low. So keep this in mind. This is on difficulty 4 with a level 85, level 90 at most characters, and still is shredding through the enemies with this strategy. Okay, now he has Vision to apply some ability blocks. Like I said, you want to stop those Phyla-Vells. You want to make sure that they don't clear the negative effects away. And if you have your Bionic Avengers together, you can literally spam their abilities, and also the ultimate of Vision is extremely important here, and it will allow you to turn rewind the enemies over and over again. You want to make sure that you apply blind with V-Vision ultimate to Nemesis, or you have to ability block Nemesis. One way or another, you are good to go. Maybe the blind is better or safer. And here it is, like, this is very impressive. Once again, the team of Michael is extremely small, and still he is shredding through the enemies like there is no tomorrow. It seems like he's playing on auto, but it's not on auto. Okay, finally the team starts to fall off. Once again, the biggest reason why the team is falling off, it's because he was not able to remove that taunt from Hulkbuster. If he was able to remove the taunt from Hulkbuster, you would have a better experience, and this is why I recommend Skirmisher as a weight on Vision, Deadlock, and maybe even on V-Vision. I think at this point in time, we should also consider Healer as a weight on V-Vision. And the Kang of Michael is 5-5, so it's not a massive Kang by any means. If it was my Kang, the node would probably be gone with a 7-7. But as you can see, pretty clear, and the lane partner is going to be able to clear this boss with just 2 nodes fairly easy. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it. This is how we are going to approach the tech nodes on difficulty 4 and on difficulty 5 to get as fast as possible to difficulty 6 and do our 60%, and it's gonna be fine. Once again, this is the best we can do right now, and you should 100% focus on your Kang and on your Dr. Doom. It's extremely important that you have your Dr. Doom as a skirmisher. It's extremely important that you have a lot of skirmishers, so you don't get stuck behind the taunts. Make sure you pay attention to the team of your Bionic Avengers to make sure that they're always giving energy to adjacent characters. The only characters that you want to put in the corner is V-Vision and Hulkbuster. Deadlock and Vision, they have to be in the middle of the agglomerate of the Bionic Avengers. And that's the main team. Once again, you can use this team or part of it on every other of the nodes. If you are using this team on node 1, you remove Deadlock, you put Dr. Doom. If you are using this team on node number 2, you remove Hulkbuster and you put Dr. Doom. If you're using this team on node number 3, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but as you can see, you don't even have to use Dr. Doom on the boss node, and you are still going to be able to do it. And if you are fortunate enough to have your Spider-Man big time, big enough, and by big enough I mean 3 all-stars, 3 red stars, you can use him on the first node and on the second node using his ultimate, or on Miss Marvel or on Silver Surfer, and take advantage of the fact that he flips the defense up into defense down and accelerate your progress against your enemies on those 2 nodes. On the boss node, Spider-Man Big Time is not as good because after he does his ultimate, he is not able to do much more, which is unfortunate. There are still rumors that this character is going to get reworked and more infestation characters, but we have to wait and see. Maybe he's going to be part of the new tech team, but we don't know for sure. It's something that developers have been keeping very much at a secret, and that's why we have to come up with these convoluted solutions to deal with the tech nodes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.